Hey, what's up, people? Just thought I'd do a little video to show some of the things that I do right at the very end of a mix, just to give it that extra little 5%, just to add a bit of colour, a little bit of dynamics, and a little bit of movement throughout the track. I'll usually do this at the point where the band are generally fully happy with the mix. They've just got some very minor tweaks. I'll just do these little things that will just give it that extra 5% or so. I'll just show you a few examples of things I've already done to this mix, and I know there's a couple of things left to do, so I'll just show you how I would do that as well. Okay, so first of all, I would select the things that I know I'd like to automate. So snare reverb, snare gated reverb, snare smash. Now that is basically a parallel compressed snare. I tend to automate that instead of the snare. The kick drum, the room microphones, bass guitar. I'm just going to show you some kind of broad stroke things that I would do. And this arpeggiated synth. Now Reaper's got this cool feature where you can drag tracks to the top like this. It puts them at the top, but it remains routed through the folders and the grouping that you've got set. So everything sounds exactly the same. It's just all there handily at the top. And then I can select all them, press the V, and this is all the volume automation for these particular tracks. I'll just tell you about a few of them. So snare reverb, I'll sometimes do a lot more than this, but for this particular track, all I felt that this snare reverb needed was this little boost here. It's just where there's a crack of a snare just before it kicks in. In this track, the gated reverb is kind of the main snare reverb because this band love gated reverb. I've just automated it a little bit at certain sections. So this is like the intro, the chorus, and the bridge. Snare smash, like I said, I will automate the snare smash rather than the snare itself. Just wanted it to pull it back a little bit in the verses. I think automating the smash basically so it gives the impression that they're hitting the snare a little bit softer. So, I'll pull it back to hit softer and automate it up to hit it harder. In this instance, I wanted him to be hitting it softer in the verses. Now, this is a thing that I like to do on a few instruments, just to make the initial hit in certain places hit harder, but only for a brief second. Because if I automated the guitar, bass, kick drum up by 2B for an entire section, the mix goes wild. But if I just give it a cheeky little boost for like the initial hit of a certain chord or chords, then it just gives the impression of it really digging in on that first hit. But I've done it on other instruments too. So the bass guitar does it. Again, only 2 dB, but for the first note that it hits, is essentially hitting it harder. And I've done it for the first chord of each repeat, basically on the choruses and the intro and the bridge. I would also do that on the rhythm guitar, which I've not done yet. I thought I'd leave that just so that I could show it you. So I'll basically highlight the first chord, like so. Give it a little boost by 2 dBs or so. There we go. And then just make it a ramp so it's a little bit more natural sounding. Copy that and then put it where I want it, like so. Now I know I want that on the chorus as well. And the double chorus at the end. So on the synthesizer, I've done little fades on a filter. So this is the filter. And as you can see, when I just flick through the song, it comes up and down. And it also sweeps up as well at certain sections. So you can see here, it's down here to 700, so the synthesizer is quite dark there, and then it starts to brighten up into the chorus and opens up to around 4K there. So that's giving that synthesizer a little bit of movement. It's also helping certain sections build up. And I will do that with other instruments sometimes. I'll often do it on the bass guitar. So in the verse it might be darker and then it opens up in the chorus. I'll do it on reverbs sometimes. So on the snare reverb I might make it a darker reverb in the verses and then really open up in the chorus, just to give it a bit more flavour throughout really. And I think that is enough examples, but if you'd like to know more, feel free to talk to me about it. I might be able to show you some audio examples if you're even more interested. But for now, I hope that's been interesting, and let me know what you think. Have a nice day.